people that are making their buying decisions based on the fundamentals, here is the proof that there are not always direct correlations between great earnings and a move in the stock price, because we had an earnings surprise up by 29% and revenue by 20% up, and the stock did nothing with that. This is why we do technical analysis. Good evening, everybody. Let's look at why Tesla looks a little bit better. So we don't have a buy signal yet for Tesla on the daily chart. We do have a buy signal on the 1 hour chart, but on the daily chart, we don't have the buy signal, but it is looking a little bit better. So Tesla is up $8.55, up 3.72%, closed at 238.59. Post-market, we are up by 53 cents. Let's look at what we have here on the chart. So as you remember, we have a seller resistance. We have a lot of seller resistance at 240.89. So when the stock comes at that point, we have a bunch of sellers that are coming in and the buyers are not strong enough and they get pushed down and the stock price goes down. We have a nice candle today. We made a higher low. Yesterday, people bought Tesla at a lower price than they did today, on the low side of the transactions. On the higher side of the transaction, it's even Steven with where we were yesterday. Let's take a look at the 1 hour chart to understand a little bit better how this played out. We had Jerome Powell's speech today and he basically said nothing new. I think that this eased people a little bit. So the first candle of the day is right here at 9:30. So it went quite high. It went up to 238.11, but then it was squished down at the first hour, during the first hour when the speech has started. Then the second hour, it came quite low, but we see that the buyers started to come in. When you see a long wick at the bottom, it's the buyers that are coming in. If you see a long wick at the top, it's the sellers that are coming in. So sellers came in, but then the buyers said, okay, he said nothing wrong, so let's go back in. Buyers coming in, and then it was pretty much undecided. And then on the fifth hour, it started to go higher, and we broke our intraday resistance at 238.11. We broke it with this nice green candle, and then we are just a little bit undecided. Yes, there's some buyers here. This is still a little bit undecided. If we switch on the 5-minute chart to get a little bit more information, we see that we have that resistance at 238.96. This is the resistance. This is the 5-minute resistance, so we see exactly what is happening right here. And with the post-market, we should be breaking that on Monday if the post-market remains true on Monday morning. This is why I'm saying that Tesla is showing some signs that it wants to go just a little bit higher. Also, on the 1 hour chart, we have gained back our stochastic over 60. This is what we need in order to have a move up. We have a few things that are there. We have gained back our MACD breakover when the green line goes over the red line. We have gained this back, and DMI is also there. On the 1 hour chart, everything is pretty much there. We only need to break some horizontal resistance in order to tell us that at least on the 1 hour chart, we could have a buy signal next week. If we go back on the daily chart, is a little bit more conservative because it will need stochastic over 60 on the daily chart, and we are at 46. We had lost a little bit of value in stochastic yesterday at 31, and now it's a little bit more up. We have a crossover bullish on MACD. This is when the green line goes over the red line. We have that today. So we have our first green thumb up. And also in terms of RSI, we had decreasing strength in that stock. We had decreasing strength as shown by this line. It was decreasing. It has been decreasing since June 20th. The stock was losing in strength. Even though it made a higher high right here on July 20th, RSI was telling us, no, this is going down. And in fact, it did go down. But right now, today, we see that we have a break of that decreasing strength in RSI. This is quite nice. I will give it a green thumb up when we are going to also have a RSI value over 50. This is what we don't have yet. And the MI is still bearish. There is no buy signal yet, but we are seeing some signs. They may not pan out. This is why we need to have a decent buy signal in order to act. But we are seeing a few signs. Let's take a look at some Tesla news. Here we have Tesla's first supercharger version 4 with tap and go payment at work. So we see that somebody can pay for their charge directly with a credit card right on the superchargers. And these superchargers, the V4s, have a capacity to charge at 350 kilowatts. So this is fantastic. This is on par with Electrify America. But Tesla's superchargers apparently work a lot better than Electrify America's. There's a wet bush that is telling us that Tesla supercharger network to become 10 to 20 billion a year business. This is by the end of the decade. I think this could make sense because many automakers have made arrangement with Tesla in order to use their superchargers. Yes, absolutely. This is something I believe, and this is going to be yet another revenue stream for Tesla. Let's take a look at the VIX. When the VIX is going up, the stock market is going down. Yesterday, the VIX started to go quite up because of today's speech that was scheduled with Jerome Powell. And now, after he has spoken, things went pretty down. So we are down 1.54, 8.95% down, closed at 1567. This is on the right path. If we start going down with the VIX next week, then Tesla could be able to start going higher than 240.89, and then we can ride another bull wave. Nothing to say here. This is up 43 cents, 2.19%, closed at 20.07. Basically, this is going sideways. This is still part of its bearish channel. So we are only interested into this one when it is going to break its downward resistance. Xpeng, we have a nice move today, so we are up $1.33, 8.21%, closed at 17.53. Post-market, we are up by 11 cents again. Okay, you could see this as a buy signal. You could see this as a buy signal. No, we don't have stochastic over 60, so that's the bad part. We have DMI, we have RSI, we have the two lines of MACD above zero, so these are all positive signs. And also we could see this congestion zone right here. There is just a small congestion zone and we could not break above 1666 for the past 2 weeks, and now we just broke it. This is a buy signal that's a little bit risky. I just want you to know that, but depending on your level of risk, you can decide to enter or not. NIO, nothing to see here, 19 cents up, 1.79%, closed at 10.83. This is just going sideways. Palantir, yes, it's outside of its bearish channel, so it's no longer going down. It started to go sideways, but going sideways is one thing and going up is something totally different, and it's not going up yet. We are up 39 cents, 2.76%, close at 14.53. Nvidia, the disappointing Nvidia, we are down $11.45, 2.43%, closed at 460.18. We cannot break 479.22. This is the number you need to remember. If we break it, then that's a buy. Right now, we cannot break it, even though we had great earnings result. People that are making their buying decisions based on the fundamentals. Here is the proof that there are not always direct correlations between great earnings and a move in the stock price, because we had an earnings surprise up by 29% and revenue by 20% up, and the stock did nothing with that. This is why we do technical analysis, because we don't speculate. When we see something that moves significantly, then we act. If it does not move significantly, we just stay put. Let's take a look at our indices a little bit. QQQ up 78%. Dow Jones up 73%, but it's still on its way down. S&P 500, I would call it a sideways. Up 0.67%. Nasdaq Composite basically sideways, also up just a little bit under 1%. US, the Treasury bonds, the 10-year is pretty much even Steven as where it was yesterday. Physical gold, it's just going sideways, still in its downward resistance, nothing to see here. Silver up 4 cents, but basically it is trying to break its downward channel right here. This is the resistance of the downward channel. The channel is right here. The channel is right here, and now it's trying to break this. It is hovering there for the past 3 days. We have a good stochastic over 60. So as soon as it breaks 841, this is a buy. Bitcoin is just going sideways, nothing to see here. And Ripple, the same thing. The US dollar is continuing its way up. It's up 0.21%. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. If you like what I do, you can become a YouTube member. Click on my TradingView affiliate link. I'm going to wish you a great weekend. If you are a member, we are going to have a live on Sunday where we are going to be able to interact and look at everything that we are looking, but from a weekly perspective. If you are not a member, then we are going to talk on Monday. So have a great weekend, and I'm going to tell you à la prochaine.